stand? Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers only know curse. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Prepare for adventure. Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Fantastical. In real life, I'm the founder and publisher of Falstaff Books, as well as the author of multiple series, including The Black Knight Chronicles, Quincy Harker Demon Hunter, and Bubba the Monster Hunter, the most recent of which, Swing Low, is available for pre-order right now on Amazon, so head on over there and click that Buy Now button, kids.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play Silas Kane, who is, I was told by a listener, essentially the Karen of Paladins, which I'm kind of okay with. In real life, I write several things, but my most recent releases are The Liching Hour, Bill of the Dead 4, and Bent Not Broken, The Hybrid of High Moon 4. And before you ask, Bill of the Dead 4 is coming into audio very soon. I am almost done proofing it, so stop asking.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures, and I write many of the books in our Shingles series, including the latest release, which will be out by the time you listen to this, Jack and the Beanstalk. Go get it.
Hi there, I'm Steve Webberl, and I play Brandon Firemaster, Spelunking Monk. In real life, I write such books as The Doomsayer Journeys with Falstaff Books, and some other books. You can probably find them on the internet if you tried.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, the Dungeon Master of this game, the surfer riding the waves of this shit ocean. In real life, I write books such as Superpowers, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and the Spells, Swords, and Stealth series, the latest of which is available now. Noble Roots, that's the title. It's available in print and audiobook. Blanked for a second there. Anyway, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had successfully climbed up a grate after wading through disgusting waters, and eventually finding themselves at a grate. I believe y'all walked through the grate last time. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't that good.
Ah, yes. We're that kind of jokes. All right, then you've all entered the disintegration field.
End of podcast. Goodbye. And fuck you.
God damn it, we were supposed to hold that until after the con.
After the con, I figured at the con.
Just the first 5 minutes of the game. Oh, total party wipe, guys. Well.
Head to the bar.
Who wants to buy me a beer? No one? Yeah, that's reasonable.
I don't know. I think if you murdered Silas, there'd probably be a whole lot of people that would buy you a beer. Fandingo being one of them.
All right. So y'all exit the grate and you emerge in a new area, one where I would like you to all roll me perception checks.
Klaus rolls a 20.
Silas rolls an 8.
Brandon Firemaster rolls also an 8.
Fandingo rolls a 21.
So since arriving at this island, y'all have seen a lot of waterways and caves and kind of sewery-looking things. It hasn't been the most aesthetic of journeys. So Silas and Brandon, you step out and take note of just how expansive and nice and like clean this all is. It feels like you've just stepped out into like an actual city. You do still notice there is cave overhead. You are still within the mountain, but it definitely doesn't look like, well, the shitty tunnels y'all have been navigating. And as for those who have 20s, which is everyone else, and y'all should now be able to see some shit, you can see that this is like a little bustling village area. There are alcoves of buildings, like little balconies woven into the walls off screen, running up and down the cave walls, so sort of like a giant apartment complex. You can see people kind of sitting out on their balconies, lounging, talking. You can see that there's a little mushroom farm over here that's getting tended. And with 20s, you can also notice that there are several barrels of what look to be waste sitting by this grate, probably being filled so that they can be emptied below.
I see nothing but sin.
Yeah, that's not what that smell is, Silas, but close.
We should bathe in the waste, for that is all we are worth in the eyes of Tor. Excuse me.
What I'm getting from this was there's probably a front door we could have used.
Wait, what?
Klaus Richter prefers the back door.
Fendingo was leaving that joke for somebody else.
And with your 20s, I'll also let you know that several of the townsfolk have noticed you all emerge from the grate and are pointing and kind of whispering amongst themselves.
I want to go talk to a mushroom farmer and see if they got any good shrooms.
Okay.
Greetings, underground villagers. Direct me to your showering block, please.
The closest mushroom farmer will...
Or steam room. Anything that isn't shit would be good at this point.
will sort of approach y'all, and then you see his nose wrinkle, and he kind of stops a bit of a distance away. Hail, noble travelers! What brings you up from the depths of our waste tunnel?
Well,
Hello, friend. I have recently emerged from the grate, and I will happily roll around in your mushrooms, spreading nurturing shit on them, if you might provide me with an ointment for my member, which I have recently pulled.
Okay, so a lot to unpack there. Gonna have to request that you stay away from the mushrooms, far away from the mushrooms. Those are our predominant food source, and you will not find the town or the guard very happy if you contaminate them.
Well, don't say I didn't offer.
I'm less concerned with your shit than with your spiritual integrity.
shut up, Silas. Any special mushrooms? Any of the ones that'll make you see stuff or smell better?
No, just a hardy specimen that's fibrous
Don't
and
care.
extra nutritious.
Any place we can get a shower?
Ah, yes, you can rent rooms. There's always a few spare places. Perhaps you should talk with Dr. Ponch before anything else. He might have some questions for you about your unusual entry method.
Wait, are we underground?
You are in a mountain still.
Shit, alright, I guess...
So you're not underground, but you are in ground.
Alright, so it's not gonna rain.
I mean, it might, but you won't know.
There goes my shower idea.
Lead us to this doctor of sin.
Klaus will be happy to describe in detail any of his journeys through any back doors that he has made, while the rest of us get clean, except Silas, who's an idiot.
Coincidentally enough, as you are talking with this mushroom farmer, some of the other townspeople have run to this large building on the eastern side of the map, and out of the front door, you see a person in like a wizard robe that look a little bit like a lab coat come tottering out and spies you all.
Right now, Ponch. You have to remind me, because we've been at this a while now. It's been a long season. Who was the guy we were talking to earlier who sent us on this way?
So I think you're referencing the crazed hermit who lived in a trap-filled ruin that you all broke into his home, and then he told y'all that Dr. Ponch had sealed away the access to the juice.
Ah, yeah, that's the bunny. Okay, so this is the guy we've got to, I will look around and say, introduce ourselves to.
He sees you all, and he immediately runs up and says, "Oh, goodness, are you all right? You look terrible, absolutely dreadful. Come, let's get you cleaned up in a hot meal."
Oh,
And an ointment, perhaps.
Oh, yes, I assume you'll need quite a bit of ointments, topics, treatments. Luckily, I happen to be a healer by trade.
Wonderful.
if you have just like a barrel of ointment that you could put him in, that might save time.
That's just going to contaminate a shit ton of ointment. All right, I'm following this
You
guy.
made cursed ointment.
Well, this is been a warmer welcome than I was expecting.
We haven't let Silas talk, so that's why that's happening. Silas, do not offend the man who's going to get us clean until after we've bathed.
Well, what if he offends me with his sinly heresy?
I don't give a shit. Everything offends you.
Exactly.
So shut up until we're clean, or I'm going to tell Klaus's weasel to shit on your head again.
My faith renders me clean,
Your faith makes you smell like butthole.
as is Tor. Excuse me. Will.
Yeah,
Pretty sure we've all literally spoken to him, and that's not true.
well, we weren't speaking to him about bathing practices, to be fair.
But he said,
Ha!
but he agreed with us that Silas was wrong on everything. I'm just extrapolating here.
Well, of course I'm wrong. I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. We're all wrong.
Where do we go to get a shower, Doc?
I think you would find accommodations down at the tavern apartment area, but I think perhaps you would best be served by getting cleaned in my special recovery chambers. They are a little more easy to wash, and I will not deny you service due to the substances coating your persons.
You're not going to send us away just because we're covered in shit.
Yes, I could use a deep cleansing.
Oh, you are not the first to arrive at my clinic in such a state, nor will you be the last.
Really? What kind of clinic you running, bud?
Well, usually it is their own excrement, I will admit, however, I took an oath to heal.
Okay,
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure some of this is ours too.
Excellent. You took an oath to heal. I took an oath to destroy all blasphemers.
yeah.
All right, so he will lead y'all into this building, and as I prepare to move things around the map so you can see inside, why don't we go ahead and give me some fresh perceptions?
Silas gets a 7.
Klaus gets a 9.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 19.
Fendingo gets a 26.
So you go in, or you can go in, and you can see that there are various tables and little like cubicles all set up. It looks very scrapped together. Definitely a hodgepodge of like cobbled equipment, but it's clear there's a ton going on. There's vials, there's like weighing things. It's a whole alchemist dreamland. There's a big pot in the center. That's all the 7 and 9 again. The 19 and 26 can note that there are various like smells and whiffs in the air that signify that recent alchemic work has been going on. There's definitely something brewing in that center pot. You can also notice there's a cot in the rear northeast of the building, Brandon. And Fendingo, with your 26, you can note that there is someone sleeping in the cot.
Now, before I bathe in that cauldron, I would like to make an investigation to see if there are carrots and potatoes and onions in there.
All
I'm
right.
seeing Looney Tunes.
Yeah, you just beat me to it. I'm right there with you, dude.
So are you both going to approach the pot?
Yeah.
I am.
All right, approach and roll me investigations.
8.
16.
Oh, be careful, be careful. That is quite potent stuff you're inhaling. So you can both look in and you see a like roiling, kind of sludgy, red-black substance. It does not smell appetizing or appealing in any way.
All right, that's probably safe to bathe in.
Klaus, if you go in there, I'm not healing you from whatever happens.
Oh boy.
Just putting that out there.
I will go to this table and start snooping around.
I almost feel like I need to write down what that is before anybody gets in it, so you can't accuse me of changing it afterward. Well, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Klaus and Fandango have looked into the pot. Brandon and Silas, did y'all have anything particular you were interested in doing?
Yes, I'm going to this table and I'm going to snoop around the contents.
You see various powders and liquids, and do you have any sort of alchemic background?
I mean, I'm covered in shit right now.
All right. It means fuck all to you.
Science.
It's bombles and boombles as far as you're concerned.
Sin, sin, more sin.
I'm
Brandon?
just going to ask, if we're not cleaning in this dangerous vat of goo, which is understandable, where should we be clearing up here?
Oh, I have a device for just this, and my floors can be easily scrubbed down. You see, when many of my patients arrive, they are in a state of, severe lack of control of their selves, their bowels, their stomachs. So I long ago just learned to make the entire clinic easy to wash. It pays off in the end.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Are you used to treating, let's call them crystal heads?
I am. So you've encountered some of the addicts that plague our town. I myself was unfortunately vexed with such a condition. I was fortunate enough to find healing and have since dedicated myself to sharing it with others.
Yeah, we've encountered and definitely not enabled any of those guys.
In fact, that is what's in the pot in the center there. It's an incredibly powerful diuretic. One spoonful is enough to expel waste from just about every orifice. It cleanses the body thoroughly to get all the crystal taint out.
How much to fill a wineskin with that shit?
Holy shit, we could sober Klaus up, is what you're saying.
It cleanses the body?
Indeed,
Do not jump in there.
Flushes just about every single impurity, impunity. I mean, it also flushes
Brandon dives behind a table.
all of your food, stomach contents.
I flushed all that
bowel
already.
Contents. You know, if you have any bones that aren't particularly well in place.
Silas wishes to be cleansed of sin.
Definitely a great way to cut weight if I needed to. But
Do not jump in that.
You're not the boss of me.
Fandango, I have a suggestion. Shut up.
Wait, no, Bjorg will survive.
So as y'all are doing your actions, Dr. Ponch removes a kind of a small light blue crystal from his pocket, and I guess, Brandon, you're the closest. He'll kind of aim it at you and, like, do the look of, like, you good?
go ahead.
All right. He will blast you with water from the crystal. It is forceful enough to get the debris off, but not so much that you take damage.
Invigorating.
Runs down your body into the floor, and you notice it seep into the cracks where it seems to get sucked away.
That's a good system. You're going to need it, I think, in the next couple of minutes.
Speaking of cracks, I would like to line up for the next crystal service, and I will pull down my pants and let him squirt away.
All right. Dr. Paunch will begin hosing you down with the water crystal.
This man has a doctorate class.
Invigorating.
While the doctor is distracted, I'm going to try and fill a wineskin with the shit in the pot.
Ooh, okay. Fandango. I am going to need a sleight of hand check, and I'm going to tell you the DC up front. It's a 20. Because if you get a single drop of this on your skin, like if it hits your sleeve and then the sleeve touches you, so it's a DC 20.
11!
All right. Fandango, you managed to dunk the head of your wineskin in, but with an 11, you barely get it in there for like a second or two when your finger brushes the toxin, and you immediately have to, let's just say you have to sit down.
So Klaus ain't the only one without his pants on.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to shit yourself, now's a good time because you haven't gotten crystal washed yet.
Right.
But either way, you are, let's just say, incapacitated for the remainder of your turn.
Fandingo, you disgust me.
Sorry, dude. I know gimmick infringement, but yeah.
On the plus side, Fandingo, if you had any alcohol in your system, you don't. It's coming out of your pores, your bottom, your front. It's just you're just
wish.
getting flushed.
You know, I'm an old dude. I've had a colonoscopy. I know what this is like. But did I
A
fill up?
colonoscopy is like thunderously shitting your pants.
No, the drink they make you drink before that makes.
The prep for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh god.
They don't need to look inside if the inside is all outside.
yeah, dude. I set up a TV tray in the crapper and watched TV because I couldn't leave the bathroom for 3 hours.
Yeah, all right. I'm taking a step away from Fandingo.
Yeah.
I remember my colonoscopy.
Klaus is disgusted by you, Fandingo.
Yeah. Suddenly, this table looks far more interesting.
Achievement unlocked. But did I get the goop in the wineskin?
You got a little bit of goop in the wine.
Well, apparently it doesn't take much.
It does not take much.
Alrighty. We're adding that to inventory. Wineskin full of shit juice.
No, wineskin with, we'll say, 2 doses of shit juice. Like I said, you barely got it in.
I'm good with that.
All right. So as he's spraying Klaus down, Dr. Ponch will continue to try to hold conversation. So what brings you gentlemen to this island? It's peculiar that we get visitors, and very strange the route you took.
Well, if I can remember, which I barely can, we were told that we could perhaps utilize the volcano on this island to help hatch our son.
Hatch your... Oh! You're the gentleman who abandoned that ship out in the water weeks ago.
Abandoned is a strong word. Left with a responsible babysitter who may be alive.
You mean the man who was cursed into a permanent goblin state, retching and convulsing?
Yeah, babysitter.
He likes it like that.
The
Yes,
fuck
sir.
I do. And from the cot, you see a grumpy Gordon Skinflint raise his head,
What are you-
not in goblin form.
What are you doing being human without permission?
Yeah, why are you working?
Yeah, I was in a real rough state after that island cut me off from the curse, and then it all whammied me at once. Thanks a lot for the help, assholes.
You
Speaking
Welcome.
of assholes, I'm indecent right now, sir. I will pull up my pants.
Dr. Ponch was nice enough to nurse me back to health and transfer the curse onto some fucking bucket while I was recovering.
Give him back the curse.
this explains why the bucket is angry with us. I don't know. This is why I stay away from magic. This is all very confusing.
I think that was just the eyes you drew on it.
Maybe that could be it too. I don't know. Well, Gordon, it's great to have you back. Hey, wait a minute. If you don't have to curse anymore, does that mean you don't have to work for us anymore? If so, I might need to have a little word with this doctor.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the situation is, but I still know there's an angry wizard who's pissed at me, so I'm gonna toe the line until I've got a sure escape route.
Well, in between, recovering from whatever it was you were complaining about, did you figure out anything about how to better raise brand egg?
Toreg.
The egg baby.
Gordon says, yeah, I had plenty of time to research it while I was vomiting intensely most of the day, every day.
You're a sarcastic man. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
there's this thing called multitasking,
Can confirm that that'll hold your entire fucking attention.
Klaus, you are now cleaned. Fendingo, you're about to start getting hosed unless you have any objections.
Oh, no. Absolutely requesting.
Doc, about that ointment.
Yes, the cleansings first, then the individual treatments.
Okay, thank you.
As for your egg, I have been studying it resolutely in my downtime after Gordon informed me of its hatching issues. You say you thought you could utilize the volcano. Oh, I suppose that would theoretically break through the shell. It is tremendously durable. All my readings indicate it seems to absorb power at a prodigious rate. It would take a tremendous amount of energy. Unfortunately, the chamber cannot be unsealed safely.
You might be surprised to hear this, Doc, but safely isn't how we do things.
No, not safety to you, I'm afraid. It's safe to this entire community. I have spent years trying to cleanse the crystal addiction from the remnants that remain, but if any leeway into the true source were reopened, I fear there's no telling how much could get loose and, honestly devastate the lives of so many who are recovering.
But would it hatch the egg?
I mean, I suppose it is possible.
Okay.
Prayer would probably help them too.
Prayer seems an excellent idea, but I'm afraid it is for this reason that I dismembered and scattered the Crystal Guardian many, many years ago.
And
It seems to me that you're not giving the people of this island enough credit. I believe in self-discipline and personal responsibility. They should all just be really unhealthily addicted to exercise, like me.
so this Crystal Guardian that we need, where exactly did you scatter its remains?
Sorry, friend. I am happy to offer you cleansing, healing, and any treatment you might require, but on the topic of unsealing that volcano, you will find no help from me. However, I will happily return your egg once we've finished hosing you off.
Excellent.
Anybody else want to dunk this guy in his own concoction?
Not till I'm washed off.
Well, let's wait till we've cleaned up a bit first before we start making threats.
Not before I get my ointment.
So it's not off the table. We're just putting a pin in that for now.
So we had to assume that the hermetic, twitchy guy we spoke to believes this doctor to be evil simply because he is withholding the drugs.
Is that not the very definition of evil?
You guys haven't been great at considering your sources.
No, I just assumed everyone on the island was a meth head. We've been to some wacky islands. I don't know. I thought, it's another island of Dr. Moreau bit, except, instead of animals, it's hard drugs.
Oh God, if we find an island like that, I'm never leaving.
I mean, it sounds like that's maybe what this place was 10 years
we
ago.
We found an island like that. And it could be again if we're just willing to flagrantly disregard the health of this community for our own personal ends. I'm just putting it out there.
So you mean if we're willing to treat this island like literally every place we've ever been?
I mean, we've left islands in worse conditions.
Yeah, mister, I'm all celibate, but I'll sink an island by dry humping a tree.
I'm not sure if the tree counts. My conscience is clear about the celibacy thing. Also about the island murder. I didn't know that was going to happen.
All right, Fendingo, you have successfully been hosed down.
I will redress. I do not currently have need of any ointments, so I will put away my member.
All right. And Dr. Paunch will move down, and unless Silas objects, he will begin hosing you down as well.
Silas objects.
All right, he does not hose you down. Very well, sir.
Please, Doc, do it anyway.
Oh, nope, certainly not. It would not be ethical to treat a patient against their will.
Can I examine your crystal real quick?
Certainly.
So, how does this thing work?
That seems like a question that Knowledge Arcana might be able to answer.
No, I'm literally asking the doctor.
Oh, gotcha. Well, you see, you have to press your thumb there, and are you a mage capable of, utilizing magical spells?
Yeah.
Inner power, etc.?
Absolutely.
All right, well, funnel some of that into this right here, and it just kind of shows you. It's a standard enchanted object. It's pretty straightforward.
Everything that he's telling me to do, I do it while I'm pointing the crystal at Silas.
It'd be fantastic if you just asked Drew, "Hey Drew, how does magic work?" And he just improv'd and got it 100% correct. And now we're all wizards. That'd be a great fuck it out cover of this podcast, really.
It's like we definitely can't release this one. It becomes like the lost tape that if you can find it, you become a wizard. Oh, the dumbest fucking source.
Just accidentally invent magic on a podcast. That's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, million monkeys, million typewriters, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So Silas, are you gonna attempt to dodge out of the way of Fandingo's blast?
I am happy with my filth.
So that's a yes to dodging?
Yes.
Okay. Then Fandingo, roll me a ranged attack against Silas's AC.
Okay. So like a ranged spell attack?
Nope, this is dexterity based, because you're not really casting a spell, you're just aiming a gem.
Okay. So do I get a proficiency bonus?
You're used to using enchanted objects. We'll say in this case, yes.
Alright, so just roll.
Proficiency plus dex.
Alright. So I'll just roll a dex check and then we'll add proficiency to it.
Sounds good.
That's a 21.
Is that without proficiency?
No, that's with proficiency. Is a 21.
Okay. Silas, what's your AC?
19.
Okay. Silas, you do your best to avoid, but you are blasted by the hose, losing, let's say, 30% of your accumulated filth.
How dare you wash away that which fate has decided I am worthy of?
Torag called. He wants you to be clean. He can't talk to you directly until you're worthy to speak his name again. I'm his fucking avatar, bro. Stand still.
I find that a little dubious.
I think that's worth a persuasion check. 14 for persuasion.
All right. And that's against what?
I think we set that against insight, typically.
All right. That should be... Ha! Even with a -1.
Fuck.
You may have been right about the invisible arrows of Tor. Excuse me.
For a second, I thought you said you had rolled a -1. I was like, holy shit. That's a big goddamn fail.
Yeah, at that point, I would have just chained myself to Fandingo.
He would have worshipped
Fandingo's your god now.
Ooh, that's a new goal.
All right. So Fandingo, for the next blast, Silas, are you continuing to try and not get hit?
Yes. I am covered in the crust of sin.
Then Fandingo, it will once again be a ranged attack against his AC. Although, it's not going to matter
7.
in this case. Yeah, this one doesn't matter. For the future ones, though, I guess, technically speaking, your armor won't really play a factor. It should really just be dexterity for your AC for this one.
Okay.
Because if it hits the armor, it's still hitting you.
God,
but a 7 doesn't mean jack shit regardless.
Yeah.
All right. Do you, Brandon and Klaus, do y'all have anything you want to be doing as these two are playing water with each other?
Well, this clown show is going on. Just signal to the doctor about that ointment.
Oh, yes. He will go and dig through a few of his desks, and he will eventually come out with a small glass jar and hand it to Klaus and say, I would recommend applying that twice a day in the morning and the afternoon, then allowing it to dry before redonning your pants.
Oh, do you have anything slipperier?
Sadly, I do not.
I'll make it work.
Sadly.
All right, I would like to put on my ring of invisibility and apply my ointment.
All right.
Very considerate of you.
Small favors.
Brandon?
Yeah, do you have anything that can heal a fellow?
Let's see. I have a few emergency herbs that can gently speed one's natural healing process, but I'm afraid no potions or anything of that ilk. They sell that over at the shop. I'm just here to treat the folks recovering from the crystal.
Fair enough.
Wait, what exactly does the ointment do? Besides being a masturbatory aid.
Disease than a healing potion.
Clean up your gonorrhea, I assume.
All right, well, that'll do.
So hit points affect healing directly. Diseases are typically their own thing.
Yours is definitely typically your own thing.
I didn't realize I had an official disease.
I don't know that you did, but you told us you did, so I'm just trusting
I didn't
you.
say I did. I just said I wanted something to heal my member that I pulled. But that's
Chafing.
fine.
You did jerk off in basically a sewer. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
better safe than
your
sorry.
ointment won't be bad.
No.
All right, Fandango. Would you like to take another shot at Silas?
Since I still have to travel with him, yes. Yes, I would.
All right. Well,
All right, roll that dexterity. Silas, what's your modified AC?
without armor, it's 15.
Okay.
17.
All right, another 30% of your gunk is gone.
At this point, it's obviously the will of Torag that you be clean. So stand still.
We'll see about that.
You know I can do this all day.
He works in mysterious ways.
While they're doing that all day, I will just clarify with the doctor. So you definitely don't want us to break the seal into the Chamber of Power or whatever by collecting the parts of the crystal golem, because that would doom your community to eternal drug dependency. Is that
Well,
correct?
perhaps not eternal, but the amount of suffering, of pain, of potential lives lost before we were able to restore any semblance of rehabilitation facilities, it's incalculable.
Yeah, sounds it. Come on, Gordon. We're going to definitely not do that thing we just said.
Is there another way to hatch the egg that doesn't involve us unleashing untold suffering upon your community?
I have been mulling over such a thought myself. I have. It occurs to me that really what you need is a tremendous focused source of energy. The waters of the volcano, they crystallize out when they are pulled. They are potent. They are powerful. They would certainly have the necessary magical juice, but there are other means that could be conducted. I have a particular theory. It would require a bit of testing you'd have to help me with in order to ensure it was safe, but it could potentially bear fruit.
Does this testing have the potential for drugs, money, or spectacular explosions?
Oh, yes, on the last one. Quite a bit, in fact, on the last one.
I'm in.
You see, upon entering our community, you may have encountered a various transdimensional entity. Perhaps a living ball of eyes, or an infinite snake that spoke only in riddles.
A bucket?
The fuck are you talking about, Doc?
Okay, reminder, the reason you guys got separated from your ship originally is because when you crossed into this island's territory, you got teleported into Plonky Tonk's domain.
Oh,
God.
Christ.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened.
I don't think we want to. Hatch this egg that badly.
And in fact, as Dr. Ponch is talking about it, Fandango, roll me a perception check.
12.
You think something seems off about your gear for a second, and then it passes, and you don't know what it was. Just an odd feeling, probably. Anyway, so Dr. Ponch continues on. Anyway, these entities are here because of a particular dimensional oddity in the area. It's very fancy magic. I never understood it myself, but some of the higher majors explained it. But the point is, we get some very potent storms up at the top of the mountain with lightning that is beyond lightning. Potent enough, perhaps, to hatch your egg.
Are there squids on this mountain?
Not to my knowledge, however, I have been surprised before.
So your recommendation is for us to climb to the top of the mountain and stand there until we get hit by lightning?
Oh, certainly not. I have several enchanted metal spears that you would need to plant up there so we can gauge the amount of energy flowing through and whether or not it would be detrimental to the life inside the egg.
Because technically, I'm okay with being hit by lightning.
Well, that is certainly your prerogative, sir.
Certainly is.
Is it time for me to shoot water at him again?
Sure, yes. Go ahead and roll your next attack.
18.
All right. We'll say that washes off the remainder of the accumulated gunk.
This little gem's great, Doc. How much?
Oh, I'm afraid I can't part with that one. I need it to clean up. As you can see, he kind of gestures at the floor where the water in the gunk is being absorbed. I have designed this space for quite an impersonal reason.
Fair. How much for you to make me one?
Ah, if you can supply the materials, I would be happy to do it for the time required and a mere 5 gold. If I am forced to supply the materials myself, I'm afraid the price would spike considerably to roughly 500 gold.
How fast can you make one?
It would take me roughly a week.
We end up wading through shit a lot. So it seems like this would be a really good use of 500 gold. And I'm pretty sure I still have a couple grand worth of Silas's money.
All right. If you would like to requisition the gem for him, he will need the money up front because he has to go buy the materials.
Done.
Okay. You have given 500 gold to Dr. Ponch, and he writes you a very careful and well-documented receipt and hands it over.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Somebody, who probably isn't any of the four of us, really needs to remember that I just paid him 500 gold for a clean Klaus rock.
I have already forgotten. Okay, if we're gonna go bring up Brandegg, I say we go get some supplies and let's get to the top of that mountain and probably be struck by magical lightning again.
Oh, speaking of feeling my gear, accumulated gunk, and my pleasure, I want to try and squirt into the cauldron.
Applying ointment.
Okay, first of all, we have not been rolling any of your jerk-off checks to establish if you're ready to go or not yet. I fucking hate that we have established a consistent canon for when Klaus can bust. Give me a sleight of hand check. Let's see how
invisible.
you've been doing.
So he's not in a hurry. We can go shopping while he wanks into the...
That's preferable.
Absolutely recommend we do. Yeah.
24.
All right, that's a pretty impressive sleight of hand, I'll give you.
So we can definitely hear him.
I'll give myself thank you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, you guys have heard him jerk off so many times. Roll me, I guess, a Constitution, Klaus, as Dr. Ponch is rifling around through his desk, and then opens a large drawer, and then looks up and realizes that you have all left as he...
7.
From a magical stasis area, produces Brandegg. And I guess he gives it to Gordon.
Yeah, we left Gordon behind. So he's going to pop out with Gordon and say, "Now, gentlemen, I would recommend that you perhaps take the time to get rested up. I haven't finished crafting all of the metal rods I would need to equip you with anyway, so, take the night, relax, maybe do a thorough shower with soap. That's just a general recommendation for making a good impression, but regardless, I would say rest up, and perhaps in the morn I will have everything ready and we can begin our experiments."
Let's do that. That's a good idea. Get cleaned up, have a wander around this mushroom town, relax a little bit, not die.
All right, and while they are outside doing that, Klaus, with a 7 Constitution, I guess I interpret that as you can't hold it for long. All right, we'll give it to you. You've been going the whole time they were washing, so you are able to finish aiming into the pot. It flies out freely, is visible because it has left your person, and lands and instantly sizzles and erodes away as if it has hit acid.
That's all I want. I wanted to hear the sizzle.
I love the fact that the people who are taking this concoction are already like as low as they can get, and you've just jizzed into it. Take that, drug addicts.
All right, I'll casually stroll out after everyone else. I'm gonna keep my invisibility ring on though. Just.
Hey Klaus.
Yes.
Roll me a perception.
21.
Nice. Okay. When you feel the splash against the back of your neck, you are able to turn around in time to see what looks like a surging tendril move back into the pot.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
Great. You just jizzed on us unlike some horrific monster.
You splooged on Cthulhu, bro.
A jizz squid.
Let's just say it got marked return to sender. And also, Klaus, your stomach is gurgling.
Oh dear.
It came with some friends.
Returned with interest.
So the tendril came from the pot?
Yes,
Okay.
basically a tendril made of the goo was slipping back into the pot when you glanced over. It was moving pretty fast. That's why you have a fast perception, and so as soon as it hit you, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm glad I finished already.
You can stagger out to the front, and then basically Fandingo had a one drop and kind of a controlled experience, which is what it's designed for. You got a substantial more than that. Projectile everything is the word that comes to mind.
And he's invisible while he does this.
Well,
Yeah, but the things coming out of him are not.
To see me some kind of elemental force of shit. Like a localized
And
shit
vomit,
hurricane.
and sweat, and bile. It's just everything is oozing out of him.
I'm
Poor.
kind of visible now.
Yeah. You're like weeping gunk. There's earwax squirting out.
I'm going to use my last key point to move as far away from that as possible.
Yeah, let's just pretend we don't see this. He's invisible as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, Doc, clean up on aisle Klaus. Gotta go.
Here, I'll grab Brand or Tor Egg from Gordon.
Let Gordon do the lazy shit.
Oh, he can't even stay an imp the right way.
Oh, man.
All right, I guess we'll see about getting rooms and getting some rest for the night. And if Klaus is dead in the morning, oh well.
And seeing if there's anything cool in the shop.
All right. Y'all approach the shop, but you see a sign that says closed for the evening. However, behind it, over by these lampposts, there is a entrance to the cave itself where you see a sign that says Inn Tavern.
Okay then.
Going to the bar.
That must be the entrance.
All right. Y'all can go in and secure rooms for the night. And Klaus, after about 2 minutes, you're done.
Is the doc still there with his crystal?
Yeah, he's pouring the wash over you, taking care
Oh,
of
thank
you.
you. That's what you meant by done.
doc.
I thought you meant I've been shitting myself for 2 minutes straight.
No, you have
All right.
been. You've been
Oh, all right.
shitting, vomiting. You are severely dehydrated and
Oh.
hungry. But the doc has been washing you the whole time, so you. He's been fighting it as it went. So you're not covered, but the wall and ground around you probably needs to be burned.
Oh my! What is this feeling? I feel so clear-headed.
Yeah, me too, buddy. It sucks. Let's go get loaded.
Yeah, Klaus, you are completely sober. Anything you had in your system is completely gone.
I'm seeing equations.
I still have a vial of Gunther smoke. We can fix this.
Man, if we ever need Klaus to be an actual good rogue and his hands to stop shaking for 5 minutes, it's handy we got some of that potion.
You're pouring it down his throat, because I ain't touching that stuff again.
Let's see if it actually makes a
Yeah.
difference to Klaus.
That's true. If next game he's the Goodwill Hunting version.
Oh my god, it's flowers for Klaus Jernan.
All right, and Klaus, you and Gordon can go and secure lodging. Rooms are 5 silver per night, and they do come with meals in the evening and morning.
Nice.
And so you all can take a long rest. Please refill your hit points. your spell slots, half of your short rests if you have used them, which I actually think we did in this run.
We did, yeah.
Y'all, it's been a while since y'all had a long rest, but you have successfully navigated the sewer systems, you have found the town, you have met Dr. Paunch, and you have gained a level. Because y'all have been exploring this for a while. So welcome to level 11.
Sweet.
Nice. Man, I love
So
leveling
you
up.
can level yourselves up before next game. And hopefully Bjorg and the Bucket will find find y'all there. But everyone, don't worry. While the game part of this night is done, we are not finished yet. We have been running a live blog over at facebook.com/authorsanddragons and carefully collecting your questions to ask one another. But before we get to those, we of course have to take the ones from the Discord associated with our Patreon, patreon.com/authorsanddragons. Because, you know, they pay the monies, they get to cut the line. And if you'd like to do that, go sign up. We'd love to have you. It's an awesome, thriving Discord. We do all sorts of monthly events, and my God, we got some fun ones coming for the summer leading into A&D Con. But that's enough vamping. Rick, what's our questions on the Discord tonight?
Well, we got a classic from our friend Aaron Tiggy. What advice or suggestions would you give to anyone coming to, oddly enough, A&D Con for the first time?
I don't know if I can give you any advice or suggestions because you sound like an individual who makes good decisions.
And we know this because you went to authorsanddragons.com and clicked the A&D Con button and ordered your ticket and reserved your hotel room to join us August 19th through 21 at the University Hilton in Charlotte.
You seem to me to be a capable, likable, and attractive human being. So I ain't got no advice for you.
Bring
You're
lube,
killing it.
lube and hand sanitizer.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
See if you can combine them both in one bottle for sea travel.
No.
Don't ride behind Bevan on an escalator if he's got a cooler.
Or if he's near electric equipment.
Especially at this hotel.
My advice is very simple. Drink responsibly and don't get the rest of us arrested.
That is a very, very good one. Maybe make a liquor store run to have your stuff on hand, I suppose, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think there are bars, but there's not like a place right there
There's a bar.
on hand. Although I haven't been there in a few years. I don't know what's around
There's a
there
bar
anymore.
in the hotel. There's a good Mexican restaurant walking distance. There's a meat markety frat boy fish joint within walking distance. Crap.
Is that the bayou place we went to all the time?
Boardwalk Billy's.
Frat boy fish
That's the
joint.
I was like, that's like the only place we ate, man. You got
To the frat boy fish joint.
I mean, call it like I see it.
to be fair, I did fucking love that place.
Boardwalk Billy's, yeah, they do a nice pint. Or whatever you guys have instead of pints that's not quite as good.
Although for breakfast, Famous Toastery is really good.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit Famous Toastery again. So there's a good bit of advice. Research the food options around so that when it's crunch time, you know where you're going. Because I've been in a con and like planning is not most people's forte. So be the one who's like, when someone goes, shit, where are we gonna have lunch? You say, fucking Boardwalk Billy's.
Yeah. Also, stock up on water and legal recovery drugs.
Yes.
Say legal for legal purposes, obviously.
And if you bring illegal ones, remember that sharing is the rule of the schoolyard.
Yeah, we're not going to say that we'll trade books for drugs, but we're not saying we won't.
We're not going to say that on this podcast, because to say it would be illegal, but
Yeah.
to hint at it while winking at the camera, now that,
You know,
that's called art.
with
baby.
all the shit that you say, delete what Bevan just said. Here we are.
I love that, because now people are going to wonder how much it actually gets deleted.
I will offer one bit of seriousness, which is that just keep your eyes open and keep a lookout for your for your fellow con goers. If you see anything weird or funky going on, tell someone. And I don't mean weird, funky going on Jorcerer type stuff.
And so some of the Jorcerer type stuff, if you see that, definitely say something.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a lot more of a social con than you might be accustomed to because it is built around the community as much as us. I know we plug the Patreon, the Discord at the top of this every time because that's the nature of commerce and what we're doing here, but it truly is an active, thriving community. And when we have A&D Con, I think a lot of people love the fact that they get to see their friends from the Discord and hang out and have that in-person interaction. So I definitely would say come prepared for a much more social experience than you would see at pretty much any other con I've been to.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get people from the Discord. You're going to get people from our Facebook group. I know you're probably going to get a decent amount of twat waffles there.
I think people from my Discord are planning a meetup while there.
Awesome.
Like, there's a bunch of little groups, and it's a social ass con.
Yeah, and the thing is, even though there's a lot of little groups, all of these groups are pretty inclusive. So if you see a bunch of people, just join in because the chances are they'll be cool with it.
Yeah.
We're all nerds here, man.
Yeah, and we can all look out for each other as well. Mosh pit rules, baby.
Well, speaking of that, just a little thing that apparently there's going to be a Jorcerer crawl at some point during the convention.
Very
Oh,
important
no.
to note, we are not organizing.
Not
that.
even remotely.
But it's
Not
happening.
affiliated with the Chaucer Crawl.
Is this dependent on me? I mean, I'm sure I will be on my hands and knees at some point. But probably wearing a wizard hat.
It does feel appropriate that there's a bar crawl in honor of one of your characters, Bob.
Well, that kind of leads us into our next question from Corey, and he's like, "You've all been playing for several years, so how do you feel that Jorcerer has suddenly become the de facto MVP of the podcast?"
I feel great about it.
Basketball existed for a long time before Michael Jordan. It's just the way it goes.
I love the idea of Jorcerer as the Michael Jordan of Dungeons and Dragons. Not Authors and Dragons, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that may very well just be frighteningly real.
You know, that might be the thing that gets Wizards of the Coast to just hire some people to kill us.
They've got an entire marketing department, like hundreds of artists contributing to what they do. Bevan just like Jorcerer the Sorcerer. He just rewrites history instantly.
They won't pony up the money to buy Roll20. They're not gonna kill us.
I do love the image of like at the next Wizards convention, there's just every year more and more creepy people in red robes.
There's just a boardroom somewhere with like there's a projector with just that drawing that Bevan's done, and the CEO of Wizards of the Coast is just going this, and that's it. That's all he can say.
Meanwhile, he looks out his window, it's a fucking sea of red robes.
Well. Now that we've had that terrifying glimpse into the future, let's step away from that. And our friend Kveld Bjorn asks, "What is a scene from one of your books that had to be cut that you wish had stayed in?"
None. I'm indie. I keep all my good shit.
I own the company that publishes most of my stuff, so yeah, I do what I want.
I'll admit there's been some stuff that's ended up on the cutting room floor. I know, like Last Coven wound up running really long, and there was a scene in there I liked about talking about how icons they might actually have like a connection to the real heaven, but I wound up taking it out because it was just a discussion scene in the middle of stuff happening, and I was like, this book's already fucking long enough as it is.
Yeah, I got nothing. I keep my shit that I like. I do not kill my darlings.
Yeah, I tend to have the opposite problem. I usually get to where I'm going pretty quickly in writing, and yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, that was a great concept, and I think I've fully explored it as much as I want to at pace, but it's only like 50,000 words. I guess it's a novella.
That's technically a novel, but if you sell it as one, people are going to be pissed.
Yeah, pretty much happened with Hand and Strike, The Adventures of Hand and Strike. Well, this is a great concept. I could have some real fun with this, and now I just thought, I've told that story. Oh well.
All right, our friend Zach of All Trades asks, assuming that you have creative control, what kind of crossover with other podcasts, TV shows, or movies would you like to see?
Podcasts, TV shows, or movies. It's such a fucking jump of category.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
why don't we?
I want Matt Mercer. Give me Matt Mercer for one episode and we will break that hippie.
I keep on trying to listen to other D&D podcasts, and they're just not fucking funny.
Make him run one episode with a Jorcerer.
It is,
we'll see what
I
kind
imagine, a unique experience.
We'll see what kind of critters you got then, bud.
Oh, man. I would probably love to do a crossover with Doughboys or How Did This Get Played? I just like both of those podcasts a lot and think it would be fun.
I'm going to go with movies and say, I want a big budget. Pirates of the Caribbean 6, Meet the Bastards.
Oh no, I have a movie franchise crossover. Authors and Dragons meets Fast and Furious.
We'd still be better than Tokyo Drift.
That's a low bar there, John.
Yeah, I mean, aim higher.
Yeah, you really killed the energy there.
Still us. It's still us. It's a low bar, but we can trip over it.
I'll go with a very special episode of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon with Jorcerer the Sorcerer.
Oh my god.
They find their way home and Jorcerer waiting there like, let's
Oh my!
back through the portal, guys.
Oh God, we were so much better off where we were.
We're finally back in the real world. Oh no.
Oh, that's right. The real world has pedophiles. Back in the portal books.
Technically, the Dungeon Master wore red robes, and you've never seen him together with Jorcerer.
He looks like a pedophile.
I would pay, if I won the lottery, I'd pay good money just to reanimate all of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon with the Dungeon Master being Jorcerer. And don't change the script or anything, but just change the voice and the look.
Just the animation and the voice.
Yeah. Just seamlessly. Just so I could enjoy
Well,
it.
hello, adventurer.
They'd have to change the animation of all the characters as well, so they look slightly worried all the time when they're talking to her. Just change the eyes a little bit.
Animate it so every time the camera cuts away and cuts back, he's standing uncomfortably close to a different party member.
No, it's always Bobby. There's a reason he gave him the unicorn.
I too have a horn.
It's like, why did you give me this? So you'd always have a seat. Oh, not there.
All right, we should probably mosey on to the Facebook.
Thanks, pervert, for asking that question.
All right. Our friend Nelson, getting back to our favorite topic, A&D Con, asked, should we bring whatever books we want to be signed with at the A&D Con, or should we buy copies there?
I'll sign whatever you put in front of me.
I think Drew had perhaps the best response to this.
So my policy with cons is if you want a Drew Hayes book, you can definitely buy it there, or pretty much should be able to usually. If you want a specific Drew Hayes book, you should bring that from home, because the odds that I'll have that book in stock are not great.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring a little of everything, emphasis on little. I'll probably mostly have first in series. So if there's something like, else that you want from me, either bringing it or telling me up front so I can order it, definitely helps.
I'll sign the other guy's books too. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I can only imagine how many caverns and creatures I'm going to wind up signing there.
Yeah, I mean, Rick touched on it. When the wider our libraries get, the harder it is to bring like one of everything, and then the size of my sons of bitches means that if I bring a couple of Forging Hephaestuses, that means, holy shit, that's a lot of space.
I'll be setting up pre-orders for anything that is mine or published by Falstaff Books, which would include Steve's Doomsayer Journeys, my books, Teresa Glover's Caitlin Kelly's series, or newly announced guested authors in Dragon's Con, Judy Black's Shadows and Sideshow series. So I'll be posting a pre-order link for those that will close mid-July, so you'll have about a week after you hear this to put your pre-orders in. And that would be my suggestion for the best way to make sure you get the books you like signed.
Yeah, I'll say this. I typically sell my books at cons a little bit cheaper than you get them online. So if there's something I'm out of, I also will have some sheets with me where you can just place an order right there, and I'll get it, I'll sign it, and I'll mail it to you.
And speaking of pre-order, if you would like to order a unique copy of Shingles the movie, the book, which will be available at the con, signed by the authors and director Steve Radzinski, you can get that online. Check out our Facebook for further details. Did I do that right?
Yeah, sounded good to me.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Here's a topical one. You'll be listening to this after the fact, but our friend Melanie asks, with 4th of July coming this weekend, what do you and or your family like to do to celebrate?
Steve, why don't you take this one?
I'll be doing my usual getting drunk and casting westwards into the wind. Damn you, colonials. No, I actually am doing something this weekend. I actually am having a barbecue. Not for any independence. I think we're perhaps the only country in the world that can't celebrate its independence from Britain. So I'm just going to, maybe I'll just relive the glory days. I'll just walk into my neighbor's house, take his stuff. We'll see.
Eating, drinking, the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm dog sitting this week, and my wife is out at her own convention, so I just trying to keep this place from burning down.
Well, not to enrage Rick with his least favorite word, but it's hot in Texas. I'm going to be spending it in the pool.
Fuck you.
You have a pool.
It could be worse. You could be like rubbing in my face, being, "I'm gonna spend it in Dinosaur Land."
He's going to a Transformers convention. There you go, Rick.
That's okay. That doesn't bother me.
I got nothing planned. I'm going to be chasing cats around the house.
Well, okay.
Hey, I think we keep waiting for Joe.
Our friend Amy asks, "At what point did you feel like an author and not a insert day job here that happened to write some books?"
When I could quit my day job.
Yeah, I still can't quit my day job, so.
I mean, I think I had quit my job for like probably 2 or 3 years before I was really comfortable introducing myself as a writer. Because in my head, it was still like an experiment thing. It was like, all right, I do 1 year and see if I can stay, out of the red. Okay, see if I can do another year. Oh shit, okay, can I do another year? And like, it was only after 3 that I was like, okay, maybe this is just what I'm doing now, and I can dial back a little bit on the terror.
I was working at this one job, and at this point, I probably had maybe about 5 books out. And I was pretty proud of it. I did feel like an author, but man, there was this old guy who worked there who would just stomp on me every chance, and he wasn't trying to. It was just he didn't give a single shit. So be talking about, like, yeah, it was pretty good. I sold about 20 books, for this launch or so. That's it. That's all.
Damn.
And then it'd be like, okay, well, I'll just shut up now and go back to eating my sad little sandwich for lunch here. So he definitely did a good job of making me not feel like one. But the truth of the matter is, after my first novel, I felt like an author. As far as being a successful author, I don't know if anybody ever really feels like a successful author, because success always feels like it's right across the next horizon. So take that as you will. You write a book, you're an author. That's about what I can say.
Yeah, I guess as soon as I left my day job the first time, and it didn't really change when I went back to a day job. Then I was a writer who did this shit for a living because my books weren't selling yet. But it wasn't that I was a lighting guy who wrote books. In my head, I was a writer who did lighting stuff.
Oh, this one should hurt. And Drew, you could pick one of your NPCs for this. But our friend Lorraine asks, your character has a Freaky Friday body swap with another character. Who would you swap with, and what's the first thing you do in your new body?
I think whoever I swap with, the first thing I'd do would kill myself.
I'd probably swap with I'd swap with Brandon, and then practice a different flavor of laying on hands.
I can't say I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if everybody doesn't say that.
Probably I had to say it, Klaus, and man, that dick's coming off.
Man, I was about to say the same thing. You have no reason for this. You were the one that made the offense. This would be retribution in my case. What is your obsession with my dick?
He hates to leave a job unfinished.
Well, there is that, but Silas has to see it all too often.
Well, Silas shouldn't have been jerking it off. That was non-consensual. That's why you can't speak Torad's name
it's
now.
Non-consensual. You keep whipping it out.
I didn't ask you to pull on it.
God, that needs to be a soundbite.
I think if this happened while it was going on, no one would intervene.
No.
Just let it play out. Whoever wins, we win.
I normally don't like include things from the question session into the live blog, but I think that one goes in.
Yeah, that one kind of has to.
Just a body swapped Klaus and Silas desperately tried to pull each other's dicks off. You can get a whole episode out of that.
Both of them wouldn't use like a knife. They would try to shoot their own dicks off. And they'd take the sharpshooter.
Yeah, except I hit with sharpshooter.
It'd be one of those grapple situations where Drew has to rewrite the D&D rules. And forever sully D&D.
Well, I guess we know what mini games Drew's given us at A&D Con.
Oh, God. Here's some scissors. Steering away from that horrifying image, I think Gunther would swap with Fandingo so that he could do the drugs he's always wanted to, but been afraid to try.
I got you, boo. I'm here for you.
Because if I die in this body, who cares?
I mean, he feels like if anybody can ride the storm, it's a Bard body.
Bard life, yo.
And I mean, if a Bard dies ODing, no one's going to ask questions.
Me, Jim Morrison, Janice. Yeah, it is just kind of a thing.
The Bard died of a drug overdose. Well, it took that long, did it? All right. Did we have anybody else for that one?
That's it.
No, that was
No, I was going to pull Rick's dick off.
Whoa.
Right.
Where do we get Rick's dick and not Silas's here? Let's back the fuck up here.
Whatever.
Tomato.
I'm saying, if you want to see shit go down, Authors and Dragons Con 2022.
You can always roll for it. That's what he says.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, before this takes a truly unstoppably horrifying turn,
I just sold 1,000 tickets.
we're going to cut off here and be back next week with a side quest, and then in 2 weeks with another episode of Authors and Dragons. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, friends.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Invigorating.